Hey friends, how are you? This is Dr. Sri Nagi, Ayurveda and medicine doctor and also Isha Hatha Yoga teacher. So today in this video we are going to talk about tea, whether we should take tea or we should not take tea. Is it good for health or it's not good for health? Is tea has origin from Ayurveda or tea is not Ayurveda thing at all? If you have addiction of tea that you can't live without tea, how much tea should you drink and what is the best way of making that tea which is not so bad for health? And if you want to leave tea, like you don't want to drink tea, you want to get rid of tea, what are the ways that we can use with the help of Ayurveda to get rid of tea? So let's see how we can use Ayurveda from tea perspective. You would be surprised to know chai, that is called Indian tea. Everywhere in India is chai, 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 in every stall, in every hotel, in every house, everywhere. And you can see behind my back is tea garden. You know, we also have tea gardens. So it is like tea is everywhere in India, but tea is not original plant of India. Tea came to India with British. Earlier, people were not drinking tea. People were drinking tea, but the other forms like medicinal values with the other herbs. Definitely, they were drinking decoctions, but there was no concept of drinking tea in ancient India. In ancient India, nobody was drinking tea. So tea came as India got invaded by various countries, and when invasion happened, they come with their own culture. They stayed here for so long, and many things get interchanged, and many other things happen. So this tea is also from them. It is not from India, and but these days everybody drinks tea. And let's see what are its benefits and what are its harms. So according to Ayurveda, tea is very hot in potency. So if you are Pitta body type, if you are high heat in the system, you should try to avoid tea, especially in summer season, even in winter season, because if you are drinking tea, that means it is going to enhance your Pitta dosha. And when your Pitta dosha get aggravated, then what will happen? That means it can cause acidity issues. If you are drinking too much tea and you have Pitta body type, that means it can cause acidity, it can cause peptic ulcer, it can cause gastric ulcers, and ulcers keep happening if you keep taking tea. And why this happens? Because one thing is tea is very hot in potency. That means the effect of tea in our body is very hot. Its post-digestive effect is it will enhance the heat in the system. So tea mostly belongs to the places where it's extreme cold. So those places tea got invented. Like they were started using tea, but actually in India, if you those even cold places, they have their tea with medicinal properties. They don't use this tea plant which is on the name of tea everywhere is served in India. This plant they don't use. And now people have got addiction for this tea because the fragrance of this tea, and even latest researches have been seen like tea is very good for your kidneys, this, that, and tea is very beneficial for this thing, that thing. But according to Ayurveda, if you see like traditional Ayurveda ways, then tea is very hot in potency. If you are that kind of person whose body is always remaining cold and you don't have any heat in the system, then tea and coffee is recommended. But if you already have excess heat in the system, a lot of high pitta you have, then you should avoid drinking tea. Once in a while you can, but regular use of tea you should avoid. So this is first thing. Another thing is tea and coffee both causes a lot of dryness in your system. Coffee still, it's been grown in India, but coffee also causes a lot of dryness in your system. It's very good for taste, it's very soothing, it's very relaxing, but it trigger your nervous system. As you know, there is caffeine in tea, caffeine is there. So it triggers your nervous system, you know. If you have little bit insomnia and if you're drinking tea or coffee, it will get aggravated. Why? Because insomnia is already a disease in which your vata is disturbed, that is not letting you sleep. And if you're taking tea, that means tea and coffee has dryness properties. That means if you're taking tea or coffee, it will enhance the dryness in the system. And this dryness in the system, it will irritate your brain and cause insomnia more, that you will be awake for more time. Now the question comes, is it okay to drink tea empty stomach? So it's been said, according to Ayurveda, it is totally no to drink tea in the empty stomach. Why? Because one thing, it's your own experience also, empty stomach, whenever you drink tea, you don't feel hunger. If you are hungry and if you drink tea, suddenly hunger will goes down. Why? Because the way in India we make tea, like we will boil the water, then we will boil the tea, when we filter it, then we put milk and then we put sugar in that. So it's a good drink, but it tastes very good. It's a good drink, it tastes very good, but it will lower down your hunger. It has a lot of calories, one thing. So many people say, like, we are eating very less, we are eating 2-3 chapatis only, or we are eating very less food, but I don't know why weight is gaining. Weight is gaining because you are drinking tea. Tea is one of the ingredients that is responsible for gaining weight. Why? Because it contains too much calories. Even if you replace the white sugar with brown sugar, the natural sugar or jaggery, still it has a lot of calories, and that causes weight gain. And it suppresses your hunger and it enhances high pitta. That means that time also digestion will not happen. If your pitta is very low, then also digestion will not happen. If your pitta is very high, then also digestion will not happen. So it's very important in Ayurveda to have balanced pitta dosha. If it gets aggravated, then also will create digestive issue. If it will goes down, then also it will create digestive issues. That's why in Ayurveda a lot of importance has been given for balancing your doshas. And tea aggravated the pitta dosha, which can disturb your digestion and sleep. Now the question comes, tea is good for liver or no? According to Ayurveda, tea is not so good for liver too, because as I mentioned, it enhances the pitta dosha. That means the digestion again will not happen properly. Quickly the fire will burn and extinguish. Then again there will be a production of ama dosha. That means toxins will be produced, and once toxins will be produced, that means you will invite chronic ailments unknowingly. Sometimes people also ask, like, we don't feel defecation in the morning unless we drink tea. If we drink 2 glasses of tea, then only we feel the urge to go for defecation. Otherwise in the morning, that is known as bad tea. Without this bad tea, we can't do any work, or bad coffee also you can say, bad tea, but today we are talking about tea. So according to Ayurveda concept, it's not so, because tea is not something which is laxative. It doesn't has laxative properties, that without tea you can't do defecation. It's not like that. Though it's been seen in some research papers that it has anti-cancer properties, but it's not for sure the cure for cancer. It's not like that. And according to Ayurveda, definitely tea plant is being mentioned in the latest books of Ayurveda, but tea as it is, it's not advisable to drink because it's not considered very healthy. Another thing is it okay to drink tea in the morning empty stomach? In the empty stomach, you should definitely not take tea, because morning time is very important. It's very important that we eat and start our morning time with the most healthiest diet. And in Ayurveda, it is never been recommended to have tea empty stomach. And in morning hours, if you are drinking tea, then it will totally slows down your hunger and increase the excess heat in your system. And definitely tea has none of its qualities that it just put you for defecation, but yes, the warmth that of the water that has been used in the tea, that is definitely, it's very good to clearing your stomach, but that property can be acquired only with drinking warm water too, or any kind of decoction. So tea is not recommended in the morning, in breakfast, empty stomach, especially bad tea, according to Ayurveda or yoga. Next thing is, if you are coming to India and if you see there are stalls or every street tea has been served, is it okay to take that tea? It depends, it's debatable. If the person is making every time fresh tea, yes, this tea maybe it's good, for those who are having habit of drinking tea. But if you are someone who is drinking tea from the same pot, same tea leaves have been put into this, not even leaves, these granules which are like processed, chemically processed, even that in researches also says only that tea is more beneficial which is fresh tea, like you can see behind me. So this kind of tea, definitely it is not so bad for your health, but these chemically processed tea, it is not at all good. And in stalls or tea stalls, same tea, same things, they are keep boiling in the same pot. So again and again boiling the same thing, definitely it's not healthy. The amount of caffeine increases in that, and it is not only good for your pitta dosha, but it is not good for your health too. Is it okay to keep tea in thermos for long and keep drinking sip by sip after during the office, or sometime if you can take thermos in thermos tea? In Ayurveda, these kind of teas are not recommended because, as I mentioned the fact, because of excess heat in the system and it causes excess dryness in the system. Emergency food, like if you don't have anything to eat and you're very hungry, and yes, it can provide you some calories with side effects. But if you say it should daily the morning, start your mornings with the tea, this is not recommended, it is not healthy practice. Unless the tea contains fresh leaves, you can see at the behind. These granules, chemically processed tea, that is not at all good for health. And let's discuss now those countries from where this tea has been come. Even the British people, they are drinking tea in the same way as Indians drinking, like with milk. But if you see where it got originated, like from China, like Indian tea is originated from China, and in these very cold places where tea has been grown, there are some benefits of tea, as in Tibetan medicine, tea is recommended as a herb, as a treatment herb, but in Ayurveda it's not been recommended. Another thing is, the tea they are using this black, like long tea leaves after fermentation. Even green tea they are using, the only difference between green tea and this black tea is just green tea is without processing and black tea is after fermentation, because we are making tea, so I know how this tea is. So this kind of tea, according to Tibetan medicine, yes, they are using for the health, for making the mind calm and for nervous relaxation. But the tea in packets that is there in the markets, this kind of tea is not recommended at all in Ayurveda. And in Ayurveda only decoctions are recommended, that is herbal teas like tulsi tea, neem tea, or ginger tea, and even decoction in the morning you can make out of tulsi, ginger, just mix it them, and you can add little bit of jaggery into it just for taste, and this kind of tea is being recommended. Or some other herb like dashmula you can use, or Arjuna bark you can use for cardiac patients. So this kind of teas and decoctions, that is herbal decoctions, are mentioned in Ayurveda, but this tea as it is, which is sold on the name of tea, that is not been recommended. But yes, the tea that is having unprocessed tea, organic, without any pesticide, this which has been used as Tibetan medicine, this kind of tea, yes, it has, researches has been shown like it has some benefits, but this chemically processed tea which we are cooking again and again, and especially in the morning times we are drinking, this tea is not recommended. The tea, like you can see behind me, this tea is China bush, like it's implanted from China. So in China they are drinking tea, but they are drinking without milk. So if you are drinking this tea without milk, definitely it has some benefits in health. But how they are making, they are just boiling the water, put 2-3 leaves of tea and immediately switch off the burner and just cover it just for flavor, let the flavor come out by itself, and then not very hot temperature, little bit lukewarm temperature, this kind of tea they are drinking. This kind of tea really is relaxing and gives very natural flavors, but this chemically processed tea which is been sold in whole market, this kind of tea is not good for health. So that's all about today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're watching me for the first time, there is a bell icon, there is a subscription button. Please click the bell icon, hit the subscription button so that you stay in tune with our upcoming videos. Also, if you would like to support us, there is a join button near subscription button. You can click this join button and you can support us. Those of you who want Ayurveda consultations, please write to me on this given email ID and I will let you know how to schedule it. And if you have any questions, please write down those questions in the comment section. I will try to answer your question in the best possible way. So with this note, I would like to say stay healthy, stay blessed, take care.